Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are doing a live broadcast here on Maim Street. We are watching, during the end of Fraudarchy, Control Q7, who is Keyan, not Veek7, and Every Vulture Broken, who is TheBeaver99. And if they are watching the stream, then they are cheating. But I don't think they are. They are in voice, so you may hear them yell at each other every now and then, or perhaps ask me a question while I am in the middle of commentating. But other than that, this is pretty much like a normal castover. I have no idea how long it'll be, how many games it'll be, if there will be many at all. And, yeah. It's map by DF. I would reveal the map, but I can't because it's being live cast. We get to see their APM anyway, so that's always nice. Keyan's still learning grid hotkeys. Accidentally hit Control Q earlier and instantly quit, because that's a real thing. I'd probably remove that shortcut, to be honest. The Beaver will be the first scouter. And of course, you can't see the chat on the screen in the current format, but I will read any interesting chat messages out loud, and including their author, and tell you what's up and who's doing it. And you know what? If this game is terrible, then it's not on the channel, but if it is on the channel, then you know something silly happened, right? Like that! Oh, never mind. He's fine. Only lost almost half of his health. Fulcrum going on for both players. A little bit delayed is Keyan's, but he does have the barracks out first. This is something that since the economic changes, I have had some trouble figuring out exactly what the build order should look like, when the timings should be, how you should harvest, and etc. This Mason here from the Beaver is still chilling, still checking things out. Oh yeah, the player colors are not randomized still, which is something that I think I had intended to fix, but maybe didn't fix for whatever reason. Forgot to fix. Yeah. The Maverick will actually be heading to the other side of the map. It looks like it'll be using the main entrance instead of the back entrance. There is a back entrance on this map, and it's quite silly. I don't think either of the players who are playing right now have ever played on this map. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Balethal says every hotkey a lie. It is true. I'm glad the bunker shows up just to get tickled by this Mason. A Cyprian will deal with that threat momentarily. Actually, the bunker being tickled is probably not going to be consequential, but the Vulture will narrowly miss the window of this Maverick. However, the Maverick will scout that a Vulture pops out here, because there's no chance for any damage to be done here. He will see the second Fulcrum, so that's actually key information, because if you end up in a situation where the Fulcrum is obviously like just a single Fulcrum, you could be going into a fast expand behind it or something to that effect. You could still squeeze in. You could see here a treasury, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen here. Now, I did hear some mine laying, and that was actually Keyan's own mines. He's going to be become introduced to the spider mine over here. There you go. See? The quick tap. I like that. That's exactly what we want to see. Only one worker going down so far. He will probably lose another one there. And this Vulture will even get away, it looks like. Well, it actually won't, but... ooh! Neither will that one. That one had mines as well, so that's a little bit rough. Well, there you go. Relatively unscathed. This Vulture hanging out here with its wang out, pointed in the right direction. And I just mean right, not the correct direction. Just, you know, it's going that way. So, yeah. Bunker will go ahead and land down there. Obviously, these mines providing a little bit of advance warning for any threats. And this bunker going down here, it will not block the Vulture, but the Mason will indeed die. So, a very small prize. No mines here. I like the repair at the last second because he wasn't sure if he was going to get away with that one. But don't worry. He got away with it just fine. The Cyprians will go ahead and staff that bunker as the Vulture flies off towards the other direction. Now, these two Vultures coming in here, they could indeed lay some mines, or maybe they could try to double up on the mine explosion move. But of course, if they're not too careful, they will just get clapped by the spider mines there. And there are two Vultures and a Cyprian awaiting them. Plus, obviously, if they dive into the mineral line, there will be plenty of coverage there. Command Center, not on location, will be flying over to wherever base the Beaver wants to expand towards. And it looks like we're going to see some mine laying over here to deny the third, as well as this mine over here to deny the potential natural. It's interesting because obviously TVT, people just fear Ion Wars, although this is, of course, on the version of the game that has the Ion revision, even though it's very early you know, we haven't done the new model or audio visuals or anything like that for the beacon or anything. But it does technically work, so there is that. I don't know what the beaver's up to. What is he doing? Where is he going? We do have 2 vultures headed in this direction. There are some mines to accept them, as well as a vulture in the bunker. But if Keyan can survive this move and actually manage to... it's not going to happen. But I was going to say maybe he could scout out the star pad there. It didn't end up working out too well. Now, his star pad's actually been scouted out, which is kind of funny. He'll go ahead and continue building that one. It will be a Wraith out first for the Beaver. It's kind of interesting how they've accidentally gravitated towards very similar matchups. Now, obviously, like the key difference here being the expansion timing for the Beaver. This is where we're going to see an economic advantage for him. But he hasn't really been able to keep up with a crazy amount of the, you know, military spending or whatever. This is an interesting and potentially scary mine placement. I'm not sure what's up with that. Got a couple of Cyprians hanging out as well. So yeah, the Wraith, as it is intending to come down here. This is interesting. Oh, he's patrolling. Okay, I thought he was going to lay a mine there. That's like an anti-drop mine, right? Now, this vulture, of course, chasing off that Mason, kind of indicates that, hey, there's some silliness happening over here. If he just sends a worker off to the back base to try to build on location, it will be ill-advised because of the vultures and the access paths and stuff. Looks like it's going to be a 3 Cyprian and single vulture drop. Even though the star pad was scouted, there are no anti-air defenses here. So the Cyprians will take out the Wraith, and this vulture could do a crazy amount of damage. So just based on that alone, it's looking like a pretty good attack. I mean, he's relatively insulated from any sort of vulture shenanigans. He's building a second fulcrum. So here we go. The unload has occurred. The Wraiths are scrambled, but obviously the Watchdog is much too late. And he will definitely need to grab the vulture at his natural. Back a little bit here. Otherwise, he will get totally owned. So there's a little bit of army micro over here. I'm not sure what was going on there. Unfortunately, Beaver actually got another shot off, which delayed the recloak, right? Now, we do have a Cyclops out here. They're focusing on the vultures, though, which is definitely not where they need to be focusing their attention onto. And look at that. Both Wraiths and a Cyclops do go down, which opens up more worker harassment potential. Another Wraith here to snipe out the Cyprians, and it looks like we have... we can resume mining, but that was great eco damage by Keyan. Definitely has the upper hand. Of course, has a lot of money, but that's okay. That's beside the point. The double fulcrum and the 400 extra minerals means he's going to go ahead and try to build a mine, a command center on location, but of course the mine will kill it. So he should get a notification about that. And right now we can't see their screen positions again. That's something we're working on, but you know, he can just send out another Mason. It's not too terrible. He might even reconsider the idea of building it on location to begin with. There you go, another mine and indeed another dead vulture. Got 3 mines down over there. This is kind of awkward mine spacing. You know, you wouldn't necessarily predict that the mines would actually all survive. Like if a Mason walks like maybe right here or something like this, is a fairly common path since it's trying to go right here in between the X. X marks the spot after all. What you're going to see is all 3 of those mines probably detonate in one go. Now, interestingly enough, we have 4 vultures in this Trojan. There is a bunker with 2 Cyclops, but you can kind of walk past it, and the vultures are particularly spooky. Now, at the same time, the Beaver did not really... he killed another Mason, by the way, who's trying to expand in a different location, which is a bit silly. And there you go, barracks. Not. I thought that might have been a command center on location. The Wraiths will run cover for the Cyclops bunker, and actually this bunker can just go down. So there you go. Not going to be able to repair it in time. The Wraiths doing their job and more. And yeah, there you go. Even getting some friendly damage there from the Cyclopses. So this drop is very, very successful. He's not even really fully saturated this base on the right side. And he can't really go for any sort of economic damage either. So it looks like drops are the name of the game here for this particular matchup and this particular map. The Vulture, he's just reminded himself that he has that in that bunker. Is something I was trying to think about saying earlier is, hey, remember he's got a Vulture in this bunker and he didn't really respond. His response time was subpar, right? And so, yeah, what are you going to do about that? Now, this Watchdog will, of course, be repaired almost certainly. I like the idea of, you know, trying to bait it out, but looks like he's just going to sacrifice the workers. That's not too bad. This is still spooky as fuck to me. I would never want to place my own mine here because, of course, there's like a unit walks up here or something. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that get killed, but obviously there's one over here as well. Actually, a second star pad. Look at that. And the Watchdog did burn down, so... Unfortunate. Now look at this. Bypassing the 2 vultures, this Mason is going to take this base over here. This is still super, super good for Keyan. I mean, the worker count is technically even, but you obviously see a significant military advantage here for Keyan, and only 6 military units in total. That's the 2 vultures over there in the natural, relaying mines, and he's got some wraiths. He's got 4 wraiths and 2 vultures, and I guess he just built another. Oh no, he's got that vulture in there. Okay, so that's literally all he has. He does need to use these fulcrums, but he just can't do it. He doesn't have enough. Well, he has enough minerals to obviously build some units. Looks like he was saving up for a Goliath or something. The wraiths coming in here to tickle this base, which has no defenses. There's only 2 wraiths, so it takes a very long time for them to actually kill a Mason. It's obviously 8 shots total. So they'll get away with obviously 3 kills, and they'll even escape with their lives, which is pretty nice. The feinting back and forth with the cloaked units is always fun to see. It's especially silly when it's Wraith v Wraith. Now, double Trojan with the double star pad, Keyan is kind of indicating here what he wants to do is not sit around and wait till tier 2. He wants to close the game. He knows he's got a lot of eco advantage. He's even using the Wraiths to confirm that there's no expansions anywhere else on the map. So he's actually got a 3rd star Trojan, which, you know, this is pretty big stuff, right? Like, when you're thinking about Keyan's playstyle in general, what you're going to notice is that he really, really likes to play with this sort of drop move. Now, unfortunately, he is going to path these right into some Wraiths, and he is going to be forced to unload them if one of them doesn't even just get totally annihilated. Mesk does come back, and yeah, there is an attempt here. It looks like all the Wraiths are going to get cleaned up just fine, but that kind of gives up the game. Thankfully, he didn't lose any units. Like, that's actually really good, but Keyan maintains the army advantage at this point. However, I don't know that he's going to be as successful. I mean, looking at the way that this is, like, this is super open still to drops, right? There's not like an array of watchdogs or bunkers or anything. And that's mostly due to the fact that there's not really that many units. So he can indeed just unload here. He can sacrifice one of the Trojans to do so. It looks like, actually, he's not going to lose anything. And so, yeah, he's going to lose some workers on the Beaver side. And looks like this... yeah, he's going to do some damage to the command center. That's just forcing it to be repaired pretty much. Nothing too crazy there. He can't really exert kill pressure on it because of all the spider mines. So there you go. This Goliath should be focused down just because it's got a low HP. Otherwise, he could obviously use it to kill more mines, right? That's pretty rough. Pretty awkward timing there on that. He does have more units streaming in, but at this point, the attack is held, so there's not really too many worries there. Still no actual base online. He's got the command center on the top left. But again, this is like eco damage, shutting it down. There's no tech here for the Beaver, and he is indeed going to start losing some more units. Obviously, that Vulture could indeed be focused down, and we see the Anseal is out of energy. So he's actually going to try to focus it down, interesting. Yeah, could obviously be laying a mine there. There it is. Actually laying 2 of them just in case the first one gets sniped. And for good measure, they all go into one group hug, which is fucking funny. And the Beaver gives an exhalation. 100%. He could not believe that he stayed alive there. Yeah, but there's 4 Trojans still here. There's more units going to be pumping out. And yeah, this space still not harvesting anything. So Keyan definitely on 1 base. But despite Shambler being, or the Beaver, they both have the beginning of their name. Despite the Beaver being on 2 bases, he's not really in a situation where he can hold out, right? Like, you know, there's all these units over here. There's a definitive economic advantage for Beaver, but definitive military advantage here for... I almost said Veek because obviously Control Q7 Keyan. Keyan doing fairly well here. If he just keeps up the pressure, he will 100% execute this guy. It's just a question of whether or not, like, how soon does he actually send off the attack wave.
AFK again in like 30, 40 minutes. Boom.
Looks like the Trojans are going to get filled up here. We actually only have 2 full. This one will obviously be a little bit different. This is like some of the survivors from the previous round, it looks like. And yeah, looks like he should be able to go ahead and load these Goliaths up as well on top of it. As the 4 Mavericks, he could load in for good measure. And if he just drops all 4 of those, if he gets all 4 of them dropped like right here underneath the reservoir maybe, he avoids this bunker. He obviously just charges in here at this point. So how quickly does Keyan pull the trigger? He's got a bunch of Wraiths. He's going to go ahead and use them as the escort. They don't move faster than Trojans, so there is that. And yeah, he is starting to saturate this base over here. He's floating a lot of minerals, but he still needs that gas income in order to tech up, right? Whereas on the side of the Beaver, he definitely does not feel like he can reasonably make anything happen other than maybe an expansion over here, which he does not seem to be able to afford at this point. So the Wraiths are actually going to descend onto the resource line. There's an attempt at unloading everything, which that mine does actually blow up, but it's on the Goliath, so it doesn't kill much. And that's just a doom drop right onto the mineral line. At this point, I have a feeling the Beaver is going to be forced to GG out. I mean, his bunker is even being killed as one vulture absolutely spazzes out. And there you go. Yeah, the Goliath is out. The jig is up. I think the ant seal... No, the ant seal didn't die. It just flew off helplessly, or helpfully, for Keyan, to the side. And yeah, at this point, you know, laying the mines for good measure. Obviously, the ant seal's still there to detect those. That's not really a huge deal. If he focused his attention onto that back Goliath, that could be pretty good, but it doesn't look like he's too interested. He's got 1,000 minerals in the bank, so he can remax. Obviously, ideally, if he was really on top of his game, he would be able to do that. And the Beaver is not happy about the current state of affairs, as you can tell. There was no attack or confirmation of the base back here. I mean, there was no base back there. Oh, is he not aware that there's...
I agree.
I don't know, man. I don't know if he's aware that...
Very true.
Ooh! There it is. Well, just losing 3 more workers because insult to injury, right? But these are pretty crippling attacks, and Keyan's actually saving most of the Trojans on the way out anyway. So the Wraiths obviously all went kaput, but he's got loads of stuff. He's got loads of stuff. And, of course, loads of minerals. So.
Fucking work to do yet. God damn.
Hey, Shambler, I said your name, and here you were. You were summoned a while ago, bro. You were summoned a while ago. Hey, I'm live casting a game, Mesk. You want in?
Sure.
All right, let's jump into some other corner.
Just keep in mind, I might have to go AFK in like 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah, don't worry. I don't think this game's going to last that long. Let me stream my game. Share my screen. All right, we lose out on the commentary from the homies, but we do have Keyan. He's been doing drops all game and absolutely ruining the Beaver's economy. And this unit is helpfully spotting this Trojan. So.
Yeah, he sees that.
Yeah.
Kind of hung out above him for a few months there.
Yeah, just hanging. Now, this drop is definitely going to go off, right? The watchdogs aren't going to be able to burst this down.
Yeah.
So.
All those workers are completely fucked.
Looks like a couple units didn't make it out of the Trojan in time.
They kind of got focused on the watchdogs, so some of the workers are escaping.
And the Goliaths over here as well are definitely going to be more than enough to helpfully attack this from the height advantage. But I don't know what Keyan's move is here.
Kind of getting a little separated.
Oh, he's actually doing a lot of splash damage to the ant seals. That's pretty good.
That's a lot of gas.
Yeah. You've actually played on this map. This is Maim Street.
Yes,
I remember all the
this
silliness.
map is just chaos.
This is by Dark and
It's
Fantasy.
just cheese heaven.
Yeah.
Well, I can see there's a lot of little blue spots on the map. I presume to be spider mines.
Yep. So there's loads of spider mines all over the place. There's actually these 2 vultures even. But so Keyan took this base after trying to take this base on location, then this base on location. He finally said, "Fuck this." That's what you do on
this map.
Yeah.
That is what this map is like.
It looks like the Mason that was sitting over there got owned by some Wraiths in the meantime. And the Trojan even gets out. He's been really good, actually, about saving the Trojans. Right now he's down to 1, but he capped out at around 4.
And he's been doing a lot of drop stuff in the last few games.
Yeah, he's trying to incorporate that into his playstyle. It's interesting. It's I don't know how, like, you have to be really APM
really
efficient.
Deal with, right?
Yeah.
People aren't super usually just like individual madrigals or whatever. So.
Yeah, it's rarely an entire, like, army, which is exactly the situation that we're finding here. Now, there's no defenses at this base, so the Vulture is going to scout that, and the Wraiths can respond, but also, I'm not sure if he knows that there's more spider mines.
The spider mines guarding spider mines now.
No, fuck him up.
Oh, fuck him up. Cut that bitch.
I like that he's responding with vultures of his own instead of the Wraiths, It's not
My mine drag his own worker line.
Yeah, so there was a mine over here that when a unit unloaded onto this, it blew up a bunch of workers.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and then there's this mine, which is just asking for pain. So
Vultures charge in. It's just like free mining for you.
Yeah. So I don't know. This game is definitely kind of low.
Anti-error in his main.
Oh, there were a couple of watchdogs that got blown up, and then there was a bunker over here. There's still this bunker, which he forgot about after the early game. And that vulture's been in there for like 15 minutes, maybe. Yeah. So he's kind of let it loose. He's got a single Goliath with a cleric march. Oh, there's another one.
Oh, there's another one.
Little tag teams. All right, don't worry. He's finally cleared these mines with masons, I presume. Yep, there it is.
Yep, there it is. There's the body.
All right, don't worry. He's like, oh, yeah. He's actually checking around. Sure. Yeah. That's funny. Well, the Goliaths can cause some disaster.
Vultures there, so they can't mine that ledge.
Yeah. Oh, leading with the cleric. Bold. A bold move.
Face bolts.
Well, We'll see what happens as a result of that. I don't presume it'll be particularly good. Now, Keyan is the kind of person who sometimes will get overwhelmed when situations like this happen, and he'll just be like, I don't feel like defending that base. I'm just going to attack instead. And that could be a really bad move for him because obviously there's all this stuff. But yeah, surprisingly, the Beaver is still in the game. I'm not quite sure how.
Just constant tickling.
You were saying
The basement. Or the kill the cleric. Oh,
get him.
God, it's horrible.
There you go.
Finally.
An end to the suffering. He brought his whole army here, but
He brought
meanwhile,
his whole army, yeah.
and the Atlas going down. Somehow Keyan has that later than the Beaver. He doesn't have it at all.
What
2K.
Keyan does have is a disgusting amount of minerals. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
And 3 guys. Oh no, only 2 guys. Meanwhile,
Oh no. He was just about to finish. Beaver's patiently awaiting to see what happens when he tickles with a single wraith. It gives Keyan the chance to just bring down his entire army back from that little heckling in the top.
yeah, he's actually moving across the
he's
map
going.
here.
They'll just turn around and then went down.
Now, actually, the Cyclops going down does make it really hard to clear these Masons without focusing them down manually, and it gives time for the Ant
They're
Seals
so
here.
choked up in there, you can't even get a good surround in. And
Nah.
nope, there goes that wraith. The clerics are just out tanking.
Meanwhile.
Absolutely disgusting. That army didn't even come back in its entirety. Oh.
What the hell?
Continue. Oh, that one's down.
There's some serious trading happening.
I'm not sure it's worth it here, but
don't worry, that's all right.
at least he'll get that command center in the next hour.
What the hell?
Oh.
Don't worry, he's got 1 cleric
Absolutely tickle fest. I haven't seen this kind of TVT in forever.
I know, yeah. I was thinking, TVTs usually devolve into Ion Wars, but I don't think they're getting
for
there.
tier 2 really soon. Like
Yeah.
they turtle up, and then in one way or another, it's like vultures, or it's straight into tier 2.
I gotta
But
say
now
though, with the machine shop being added here, even on 2 bases, even with like no saturation and all these idle workers, the Beaver probably will. I mean, actually, he doesn't have.
You're gonna see a magical drop at some point.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And with these Goliaths out of position and all these Goliaths here, if Keyan doesn't win this fight like decidedly, then I think he will be in a really. I mean,
Hands are kind of out of position.
he's not even reacting. He's not. Oh, he's just noticed it now.
Yeah, what's happening? Man?
What was he doing?
They came back. The cat came back. That command center is actually going to die.
I can't believe it. Well, he didn't need the minerals, so.
He didn't need the minerals, but it was still painful. It took so long for it to die. Like bleeding out from a paper cut.
Pretty much, man. I don't get it. Like, what's he doing? He's got 120 APM somehow. Ah, shit! Revenge!
At least that one got canceled.
Yeah, well, Keyan's got over
Another
2,000.
single file line of Goliaths. That center is just a death trap. Whoever goes down there just.
Well, he's going after this base, but now there's bunkers here, so obviously with the repairs, I think
like
he should be in a pretty good
in
spot.
those bunkers, so the Goliaths might be able to knock him down if he can stop him from repairing. Not the best track record of that so far.
Yeah, and the Anseals can make the move over quickly too. It looks like we're back to dropping though. Must be the plan. Getting a lot of Mavericks in
before,
general.
so why stop now?
And look at that. He's got enough for the Atlas now. So yeah, and a Trojan coming in. So it doesn't look like it'll be Madrigals. It looks like it'll be Phalanxes. I guess the gas income may be too little to justify arguing for Madrigals, but and also he's got pretty good situation here for defending. So maybe it just wouldn't be that effective after all.
You could probably tank it down. It would just tie him up for a really long time if he can keep the Goliaths from killing the Trojan.
There's the Atlas as well, so not super behind.
Huh?
Now there's 2 Phalanxes.
He did not siege the tanks beforehand.
Yes, he's going
That's
in
a little
for...
detail it's very easy to miss out on, as you can do that in this, and that's absolutely stupid as all hell.
Well, it also takes up the whole space, so if you want 2
yeah.
of them, then you need to do it that way instead, yeah. Well, that does mean that...
There's in there, and they'll probably have range on that.
Well, meanwhile, one of the bunkers has already gone
All
down.
the Mavericks are dying terribly.
This is not yet unloaded. We'll keep tabs on that, but yeah, this is the attack force for now. And, oh, look at this. Vulture's coming in.
Gotta bring more. Bring more. Too little, too late.
Yeah, this might actually be the... You know, again, with Keyan feeling, you know, sometimes overwhelmed by stuff like this, it's easy for him to basically just be like, I dropped you the whole game. How did you not lose? You know, kind of deal. So.
What do you want to bet the clerics run forward and pop every single Spider-Man?
he's again just going Mavericks. Now the phalanxes
Oh,
are
there
unloaded.
it begins.
Yeah. Now this is pretty easy to deal with because you just charge forward like this, right? So.
Is he gonna mine them? No. Beaver is not responding. Oh.
Now you could just drop him here in that tank hole, but.
You might drop it on that Spider-Man.
Meanwhile. All the mines did indeed happen. They're not even in range to attack.
Half of them are attacking the command center. The command center is going to die. If
The problem is the bunker doesn't have range, so...
Just dancing.
I think. I don't know what's
I don't think he knows. Does he know the command center is dying? It's not being repaired? No,
Yeah.
it's going to die.
It's dead.
All the workers will charge forward.
Looks like...
Yeah, he dropped on the spider mine. There was a spider mine there, and it blew up. That's what that rubble is from the tank.
Well, machine shops of his own. We're tightening our belts here, boys, because this is going to be a real
All the
game.
workers did come out and die. He was not paying attention to that. Just
Now
a
they're
whole
fighting
line of
back.
bodies.
Check it out.
Yeah, he inched forward.
Don't worry, he's
like
losing
trying
one
to
goal.
deplete Keyan's minerals ever so slightly. See it going down just a little bit.
Oh my goodness! Here we go.
Oh boy.
This Trojan
Here
should
comes
see some of
everything.
this. So yeah, look at that. It's responding even now. That doesn't have anything in it, but you know.
It's just a Mexican jailbreak on the way.
And the Madcaps
He
are
should be able
out.
to hold that though, I think.
Yeah, he should have enough stuff here. I mean, the real critical thing is if this base gets sniped, maybe that could be like a realistic thing to do. But yeah, I mean,
I don't think he knows about it though.
Madrigal's coming out instead of Phalanxes for the hold. Could still be useful, but I think he's got enough stuff here anyway, so... Really depends on what he's even going to try to do.
Die terribly.
Not looking too hot, is it? Anseals are very, very late.
Keyan's all kinds of flustered. He might even GG after this.
Well, he does have access to the machine shop, and he's going Fountainhead, so he has a
Going
plan.
Fountainhead.
He has
He
some
might
kind
hold
of
out
plan.
for that. Was he able to retake? No. He's just
Okay.
he's on one base.
I think he expects the same conga line move that he just
maybe.
did. So he's moving his army to the front where his natural should be, but isn't. And there's the...
Oh, he might be taking it now though.
Fucking beautiful, honestly. How many times has that happened? At least he immediately noticed and is getting another one. Like, hey, look, he's going for a treasury. He wants the gas mostly.
I wonder if he knows the Goliaths are still there. They might just turn around and kill it a second time.
It could happen. If he can get the gas up for both of
He
these
really needs
bases,
the gas to do anything
yeah,
with
there's the
the
turnaround.
There it is.
His mines are in a weird spot, right? The Goliaths are never going to charge forward in this case.
Well, they might after the bunker dies. Oh my god!
I tell a lie.
That did not do as much damage as I thought it was going to.
Back to basic, I guess.
Keyan will eventually run out of minerals.
Well, the biggest thing is that he can just sit there indefinitely. So. And look, he's got a tank drop prepared of his own. Now, the Madrigals are out, and they are in the Trojan. But again, if you drop here, I don't know that it'll be that useful. I guess the
You have to kind of go wherever those vultures are and just go all in.
Right.
But Beaver has like no defense, so if there was a counter drop, it could do a lot of damage to his main.
Yeah, the Anseal
he's
revealing
going
it.
in with the
Where's
Anseal.
the response? That's the question. Is there going to be a scramble?
No. Oh my god.
Oh, the protection.
Oh.
There it is.
There.
Every single worker dead. Well, you only came in halfway through that game, but what did you think?
That was extremely silly. That was just a massacre.
What a
It was
disaster.
just traumatizing. You could feel Keyan
Yeah.
like slowly lose his mind.
Yeah. Unfortunate. You know what? He had a really good opening, that which you kind of missed the early game where he was doing all the pressure. He was doing a great job doing all that stuff. He was kind of slow to remax. He slow to spend his money afterwards. But you know what? I have to tip my hat to him in that respect. And he shuffled the bunker. Like the tank drop from Beaver killed the bunker that had Cyprians on the other side that would have totally shut that down. Yeah. And then he just, even though there was there was drops and there was a machine shop, both of the cases obviously resulted in unfortunate stuff, really. Every madrigal broken. Yeah, probably. All right, well, that's our game, I guess.